Welcome back, adventurers. Welcome back. Thank you so much for coming in and spending some time with me today. I truly do appreciate it. You guys are bringing me happiness with these videos. Me just going out, making some content, saying whatever it is on my mind, whatever it is I have to say, and y'all watching it and telling me what you think. How did I do? What's your opinion? That's bringing me happiness. Hearing my words and my words are kind of the topic for this 5 minutes of your time video. Actually, not my words, anyone's words, specifically anyone's final words, their last statement, the last thing you want to be heard as you're knocking on death's door, the lesson you want to pass on to the next generation. I was at church this past Sunday, not that I normally go, but I was attending with my mother, and the pastor there was talking about final words, the last things to be said. And they brought up the final words of a woman that her last words were broadcast across the internet and everyone made fun of them. And what this woman said as her advice leaving to the next generation was, wear sunscreen. Now, as other people have done, they spoke down on this advice and was like, this woman must not have had a whole lot going on in her head, because her last words, or what she wanted to make sure the next generation took as advice, was to wear sunscreen. That she couldn't have been dealing with a lot of brain cells, right? And I took that very negatively, because they don't know this woman. They were very clear and stated they don't know who this woman was. They don't know why she said what she said, but that's what she said. Without knowing her and understanding why or where she was coming from with that statement, it is very possible that this woman dealt with, either in her own life, in her own body, or with loved ones, things like skin cancer. And skin cancer can be prevented with sunscreen. If you wear the proper amount of sunscreen, you can prevent the sun's damaging UV rays from causing you abnormalities in your skin cells, right? So you can't take this woman's advice and cast it aside because you don't feel it's important. Her message is meant for who it's meant for, whether you think it's important or not. I think wearing sunscreen is a very important message. In fact, this past year or so, I've been wearing sunscreen more than I usually have. And I've been wearing long sleeve sun shirts more than I used to, because more and more I'm understanding, if I don't protect myself from the damaging suns and the heat and so on and so forth, I will have other things to deal with that I don't want to. Sunburn, not a great deal, not a big issue, but it's not something I want to deal with. I've spent enough of my life dealing with little crispies and sunburns and stuff like that. I don't want to have to deal with that with everything else that I'm dealing with in life. So if I can wear a little bit of sunscreen or wear a thin long sleeve shirt to protect myself from the sun, then that, I think, me saying to the next generation, protect yourself. That's important. Be on the guard. Matt from 9 Mills on 2 Wheels. In his videos, he tells you, carry things that go boom. Be prepared to protect yourself. Carry a sword, carry a shield. Those types of tips and that type of advice is very important. You may not realize it because you may have grown up in a bubble, but the world outside of your home is not always sunshine and rainbows. The world can get dark and it can get rough in places and times that you don't realize, especially nowadays when we're seeing more and more of the evilness in life rearing its head and affecting people that it shouldn't be affecting. Our students in our school system shouldn't be worried about shootings. They shouldn't be worried about bullying. They shouldn't be worried about not making it home that day because someone's going to kidnap them. But we're seeing it and we're hearing it more and more and more. So if my last words to you are, be prepared, go with protection, then no one should take away from the gravity of those words because they don't feel it's important. And in the same 30 minutes of discussion, 15 minutes of discussion, to take the saying from a college professor and to overinflate his words, which was nothing more about getting an education, to overinflate that importance with underflating or stealing away protecting yourself. You can't do that. Just because someone, all right, what I'm trying to say is one man's words aren't greater than another man's because you don't feel they're as important. Everyone is going to hear what they need to hear when they need to hear it from the people they need to hear it from. You can't steal the glory from one word and overinflate the words of another because society's telling you this college professor has more going on and knows more about the world than everyone else, so his words are more important. And just because people are popular doesn't mean they're more important. Doesn't mean their opinion means more. Stars and celebrities and people that are on TV just because they're on TV, just because their parents have money and they want to get in front of a camera and talk about their opinion like I do. All I'm doing is getting in front of this camera and talking to you and sharing my opinions. Are my opinions important? I don't think they're important. I don't think they're any more important than the next person's, that's for sure. But they're my opinions, so I share them. But at the same time, I don't want you to take away from someone else's opinion because I say their opinion doesn't matter as much. Everyone has a final words. Everyone has something to pass on to the next generation. Whether you feel you do or not, you are important. You have a purpose. It may not be building the kingdom with the majesties. It may just be helping the young men and women in the muck, in the filth, find their way to the kingdom, finding a way to find their own path in life, a way to find their own happiness. That may be what your job is. Your point in life may be only to help those young men and women find a way to get to where you are, to do the same thing for the next generation, to pick people up out of the mud, up out of the filth, and give them a purpose, give them a direction, help them find their own happiness. And I feel that's what I do. I feel that's what my job here on YouTube is to spread the word of David and Cindy down in Forgotten Angels. Because what they do is they take these young men and women and they pick them up, they build them up, and they guide them. They don't tell them that you have to walk this line to get to your happiness. You have to do things this way to find your happiness. No, they tell them happiness is out there. We will help you find it. Whatever path you want to take, we will help you walk that path. And if you slip, if you stumble and get back in the mud, we will help you climb back up out of the mud, up out of the filth, to get back to the path of your happiness. That's what David and Cindy do. They take these young men and women and they guide them to happiness. And ladies and gentlemen, folks, creatures of all shapes and sizes, finding happiness is all you have to do. You don't have to have a shiny motorcycle, the best car, the best house, 5-bedroom, 10-bath house. You don't have to have all that. All you have to do is find happiness, live your own happiness. Happiness is key. Hello. That's the emergency crew, fire rescue team. Waving hey to them. But David and Cindy help these young men and women. So reach out to David and Cindy. Reach out to Forgotten Angels. See what you can do to support them. I do, because it brings me happiness. Spending my time down in their we'll call it a compound. It's not a cult. Going down there and helping them brings me happiness. Spreading their word brings me happiness. So reach out to David and Cindy. See what you can do to help them out. See what you can do to help these young men and women find their path to happiness. If it's nothing more than buying a raffle ticket for a motorcycle, then buy a raffle ticket. Help out any way you can. Doesn't matter. Just help out. Hell, if you just want to come down and spend some time with us this October 23rd through the 26th at the Forgotten Angels Campout. Well, come on down. Come spend some time with us. Come share some memories. Come make some new memories. Come share in the happiness. I promise you, if you come with an open heart and an open mind, you'll have a great time. And also, while you're doing that, ladies and gentlemen, folks, creatures of all shapes and sizes, reach out to my other friends. My friends at Function in Warner Robins, Georgia, at the PetSmart every Saturday. Possum Southern Rescue has a doggy adoption event where they adopt out young pups, old pups, pups with special needs, pups with bottles, big pups, tiny pups, all the pups. You know what I'm saying? We've adopted 3 of our dogs from them, and we love them. We love them, love them, love them, because they bring us so much happiness. Seeing them wag their little tails in the morning or in the afternoon, or when we give them a treat, that brings me happiness, because I'm providing for them the life that they didn't have a shot at before, just like David and Cindy, but for dogs. So reach out to Possum Southern Rescue. See what you can do for them. Adopt a dog. Buy the dog a bone, y'all. Buy the dog a bone. And on that note, get out. Go have an adventure. Go find your own happiness. No one's going to bring it to you. No one's going to make you do it. You're going to have to get out and do it on your own. So do it. Go out. Have that adventure. Have that happiness. Or can you have happiness like that? I don't know. Anyway, adventures, y'all take care. I'm going to call this ride for the day. Get back in and start rehydrating. Yep. All right, adventures, y'all take care.